we describe it as paid up communication. You pay to communicate. That means you pay for space in the newspapers, on TV, uh, radio, even online. You pay for that so that you communicate, you send your message as written. But before you do that, you also look at who is your audience, okay? Who is going to listen to what you have written, what time they are going to listen, and how do you get those people or that kind of audience? How do you establish that one? So that is first you have to look for audience, okay? Know your audience. That's what we discussed.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Huh?
No,
Okay, know your audience. So now you remember? Okay, so it's know your audience. Okay. So uh, we discussed that knowledge is power. So that power comes from knowing your audience. Um, that is who is buying what you are selling. Advertising is about selling something. No, trying to announce what you have. But who is going to know that? Who's going to read that? Okay. And you have to know the needs of these people. Which of those needs is your client's product or service? Uh, what can they be satisfied with? Okay, okay. And so this is the job of the research department, and that job, you are part of it, to gather what we call consumer intelligence that enables everyone else to make intelligent decisions. So if I ask you, how do you get consumer intelligence? Mary, how do you get consumer intelligence? Who is a consumer? Okay. But there's a difference between the consumer and the customer. What's the difference?
Customer is somebody who buys goods from seller to people, while a consumer is someone who pays something, for example, if there is information.
Yes.
Eh,
Let me tell you the difference, okay? Chance, what's the difference between the consumer and the customer?
okay. The, the consumer is the person who is willing to buy it, whereas the customer is the one who buys it more frequently.
No. Okay, the difference that a customer, eh? Okay, before I go in detail, I'll give you the example. Mary, you're at this school, right? You, who is paying the fees for you to be here? Your parents, isn't it? Those are our customers. Those are customers for the school. But the consumer is Mary. She's the one who's in class, right? Yeah? But the consumer can sometimes be the customer. But if I buy you a phone, Mary, or I buy a phone for Chance, eh? After I buy you, I'm the customer who has put that phone, but you are the consumer. But if I buy that phone and I use it, I'm both a consumer and a customer. Okay? So the term customer and consumer, they are different. So a person who buys goods or services from a shop or a business, you can simply buy. So the consumer, a customer is simply a buyer. Eh? Somebody you buy. So you may buy, but not use it. Eh? You can buy beer for your friends to drink. Mary, I can pay your services for or my daughter for the salon, isn't it? I'm a customer, but I'm not a consumer. I'm not going to the salon to put something in it. Right? Then in that case, okay, rocks, yes. But can I put like some minutes? Eh? Yeah. But I can pay for her if she's my daughter. Eh? Okay. So, but the consumer is a person who buys goods or services for own use, for their own use. Yes, you see that. So the new rates, so that's the difference now. Okay. Um, so you your job as an advertiser, you want to know who is the consumer, who are the customers. Um, so you do a research, okay? You have to go beyond the simple questions. So researchers have, there are tools that you can use. Yeah. We discussed the tools that you can use to collect data, to hear from the people. Eh? If you're going to know, you are going to advertise, if let's say, Mary, you have opened a salon and you want to know who uses it, how will you collect that information? You want to know who would like to be using your salon. How will you collect that information? How will you know that some people want my salon and they want ABC? How will you know that? You? Which people? You even ask people like chance.
From the area which had want to open a
Okay, how will you ask those questions?
Um, I'll firstly, I'll go in the area to see how many saloons are in the area
Yes.
and how many customers,
Yes.
I can say how many saloons do people go and how many people do like. And I'll research on what people love in the saloons in the area. And I will check where the saloon is. See,
That's correct. You see, you know, some of the things we know, but we think we don't know them. So it means you are researching, you're finding out. Eh? Okay. Chance, what kind of business would you like to open and advertise? And where? Tell me the kind of business you'd like to open and advertise. Reach out to the customers. What kind of business? Studio. So how would you know? How would you reach out to people who would like to use your studio and where or what they want?
First, they do research to where many people who need to go to perform. Secondly, we can also find out the prices which they can afford. And we can also find out in that location how many people to overcome the competition that can be there with the students. And also that can also help me to determine the price besides the people who go from the coming to shop. So I can also find out uh, what makes. I can also find out which food is doing better that side. What?
Yeah, that's correct. So you see, you are advertising, you are saying these things because you are thinking of your own business, isn't it? But if I asked you to do the same about a different business, you will struggle. But not because you like a studio and like you're able to explain. So, in fact, so that's the research, so that you are going to advertise, but you also be thinking that how can I reach these people, isn't it? If you have to come up with a message, you're thinking of how you can reach these people. Okay, so you can collect data, and we discussed more that there are two types of data. Uh, we talked of primary data. You can collect primary data. You can also collect secondary data. Okay, so we said primary data is the original data that you collect for the first time, but it can be expensive. But there can also be secondary data already collected. It can be inexpensive, but it can be generic. Anybody can use it. We also talked about uh, those are the rather when we talk of secondary and the primary, there are four sources of data. Okay? But types of data we said qualitative and quantitative. Okay. Mary, can you give me these two types of sources of data which you can collect from your research? Secondary uh, or primary? What is the primary data you can collect?
Primary.
Uh,
Primary can be
what? No, vice versa. Okay, books, yes, can give you primary, but that is secondary data. Primary data is the one you're talking to the people directly in your head. Okay? Okay. And quantitative, how can you distinguish between these two? Quantitative data and qualitative data.
why?
Quantitative data and qualitative data.
I think it's a mixture of both people and
Charles, can you remind her because she was not there? Maybe she can. What is quantitative data?
Quantitative data is the type of data that involves numerical numbers of people,
Numerical data. Oh,
whereas communicative is some kind of like profiling.
it can be text, okay? Can be pictures, can be anything, but not numbers. Okay. Then we have, so we learned about those sources of data and the sources of data as primary and secondary, types of data as qualitative and quantitative. Okay. We also shared how primary data can be collected. Okay. We discussed issues of survey. Man, have you ever heard about the word survey? Survey? Eh. Hmm? Again, can you raise your voice?
I've read about it, but I didn't remember.
Okay, chance we discussed that one. What's a survey?
Besides, it's data that can be collected by asking different questions to people.
Okay.
Analyzing
It's a form of the first part is correct, right? Um, so it's you are collecting data through asking people's opinion. Eh? Yes. Okay. Then we also have discussed something on the telephone service. What do we say the telephone service are? Telephone service. Mary, what do you understand by telephone service? Hmm? Okay, you missed last time. I understand. Charles, what's the telephone service?
This is a tend to start than for the calls or using the PC as
That's correct. That's correct. So you can use that one. Eh? The other type is face-to-face interviews. Mary, you can guess that one. What's face-to-face interview? Again, how is it done? How do you do that?
So
Yes.
it's an interview, and interviewing the interviewer.
On the telephone, on the WhatsApp, direct, isn't it? That's what I wanted that one. Person to person, isn't it? I wanted that element. Um, then we have focus groups. Have you ever heard about focus groups? Focus groups. What are they? Focus groups. Okay. So this is a group of people of between 6 and 10. You bring them together, and these groups can be moderated by a person. Okay. So that when the discussion is going on in the focus group, the moderator makes sure that there's nobody who's dominating there and is trying to bring in irrelevant answers, and so it's guiding the discussion. Okay. Collect information. Okay. So you can use that one as well to collect information on the kind of audience you need to know. Okay. About those who can use your products and your services. Okay. And then we discuss with Chance again on another form of collecting data, ethnography. Chance, you remember ethnography? We discussed ethnography. Okay. So we said this one is like you can go issue like we said you can be like one of the consumers and pretending to be among those consumers. So you collect information. You're living among the people to learn about them. Okay. Okay. So you can visit the person's home, for example, and observe the kind of product they are using. Are they from your company? Are they buying bread from your company? Are they using stock from your company? What kind? How are they using the products? What products are they using? So you're learning the behavior. You're in their home. eh? Okay. Um, Mary, we also discussed the advantages and disadvantages of primary data. Okay. Chancellor, can you remind us what do we say these advantages and disadvantages of primary data? You can start with advantages of primary data.
relevant.
Yes. Okay, number one, Mary, we said primary data is specific. Eh? That means the company gets to define the goals of the research and focus on the research on their own particular product. Okay, so they it's specific to what they want. They ask questions, they want to say based on the data which they think is relevant to what they want, about the consumer. And the other one who said it's proprietary, meaning it's their own. Nobody can get it from them. Okay, it's their own, it's theirs. That is, the company can keep the results private. And we said also the third one, it's that it is controlled. Chance, can you remember what you mean when you said it's control?
Control, there is no one can get access to
And not sorry, that would make it's the same as private, but the research is controlled in a way that the when you're asking questions, you're always asking questions which you know are relevant. The methods which you use and everything is under your control. The way you do it, simple, right? The way. No, this is about the process now. Okay, it's about the process of the collection of data in the primary sources. Okay. The disadvantages for primary sources, Mary, can you guess? You also mentioned at the introduction. What would be the disadvantages of primary sources of data? And I said, chance, this also will help you when you start research in third year. These are the things you'll be learning in research. What do you think are the disadvantages? Chance?
think some sources can feel like
Apart from that, okay, that's correct, but that's in general, all the research, just to get your life. Fine. You can take that one, it's general thinking.
not trustful.
Uh-huh. Yeah, on ethical grounds, that's true. But we would also be saying that it's costly, it's expensive, right? Yes, because the company bears all the expenses itself. And time consuming, so the company must wait. Well, it takes a lot of time. Okay. Mary, do you have an idea why it takes a lot of time for primary sources? Mhm. Yeah, you have tried. But it's also that the company must wait for all the research process to take course, from design to data collection, execution, and others. Um, so we can also talk about the type of sources for secondary sources. There we're discussing primary sources. We will be talking about focus group, we're talking about ethnography, and etc. But for secondary sources, we have government sources. The government source is a secondary, something already done by government. Okay. So it's a lot of data is available from the government, often for free, because it's already paid for by tax dollars or tax money, tax kwacha. So government sources of data include the census, the NSO. Do we know NSO? Mary, have you ever heard about NSO? Mary, ever heard about NSO? Can you Google something NSO and Mary? Hmm. What is it? What is it? Yes. What is NSO? Hmm?
NSO.
Hmm. Is National Statistical Office. Isn't so? Okay? These are the people, this organize the department which does the census in Malawi. What's the census? When you say census, what is it? What is it? National census. Yes, guys. What's the national census?
So different from Saturday.
Is it? It's not different from South. But why is it given different name?
Census is like the door collection
Hmm.
information.
Yes. I can give you 100% that one, even if you have used different codes. So it's an official survey. Yeah? So you say it's not different from a survey, isn't it? Covering the population of a country, so door to door, it means every door. Yeah? So you see, some of the things you may think you don't know, but you know them. So that explanation is correct. I'll give you. It's not different from a survey. It covers door to door. Okay. So you can get the data from there as well. Um, syndicated sources. We discussed that one too. Okay, by the end of this one, I'll ask you to just explain for me through a small piece about difference between primary and secondary data, the advantages and disadvantages. So get ready. The one who finishes first goes.
It's too much.
Um,
Too much.
uh, um, so when we say syndicated sources, we mean those who already collect data and they sell. You can find them out there. But in Malawi, I don't know if it's there, but we can start that one can be good for every one of us. Collect data about products and sell it to companies. Okay. Um, like in the some countries like in the US, it's a syndicated survey is a large-scale instrument that collects information about a wide variety of consumers' attitudes and action purchases. So companies pay to access the part of this large to access part of this large data set. They find relevant. For example, we have what we call the Simmons Market Research Bureau conducts a national consumer survey by randomly selecting families throughout the country, that is in the US, that agree to report in great detail what they eat, read, watch, drive, and so on. They also provide data about their media preferences. Why do you think it's important to know the consumer and their media preferences? Why is it important?
I think you can be able to reach out to many consumers. Because once you know which media you use, then you can place your
That's
advertisement.
correct. That's very correct. Um, so that kind of data can be available. But if that data is not available, or that, well, how can you know that the consumer maybe like using radio, or like using the internet, or I like using like reading the newspapers? How can you know, Mary? How can you know what kind of media your audience prefer? You can conduct interviews. Yeah, sure, you can do that. It's correct. So you can do a research through interviews. Um, there is also the internal secondary sources. Okay. Um, so you can also collect data internally. For example, you want to know something about the, the University of London from the audience. But sometimes maybe there's all the information here. So you can contact the, okay, internal. They can come from the internal sources, such as what students have said about the school. Parents have talked about the school. The issues are there. Okay. Advantages and disadvantages of secondary data. What do we think are the advantages of secondary data? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Rapidly accessible and it's large sample size. It's large, eh? Okay. What about the disadvantages? Maybe what could be the disadvantages of secondary data?
It's not a reliable source.
Oh, then we're contradicting ourselves.
Okay, can I say which you are it's not a reliable source? Because books can easily be done.
Okay.
But when you say it's renewable, then if the books are damaged, people can rewrite.
Okay. But one of them, we are thinking of adverts. We are saying when you're going for secondary data, huh? Yes.
I think no books nowadays so there is a
See,
little
it's not a reliable source.
why?
It's not a reliable source.
On internet.
For you to say to the internet, you need value.
Okay, Mary, we say, okay, fine. Maybe, you see, we don't have to stop thinking new things, isn't it? But from this perspective, we are saying anybody can have it, even the competition. Eh? So it's generic. It just can be off target. It may not be exactly what you want. Eh? And it can be widely disseminated. Anybody can have it. Companies competition. It can be dated. It can be too old. Eh? Okay. And finally, we talk of psycho, physiological data. I think physiological data, this should be discussed when we meet next time. Okay?